first of all, thank you so much for taking the time today.
You should find.
So tell me, what are you currently working on? What projects do you have coming up?
That's a good call. Right now, I'm working on a book about baseball.
Okay, that's cool. Well, what specifically?
It's about the game within the game. It's about organizational skills and what it takes to put together an organization. It's everything. Every manager I ever talked to in baseball.
Okay.
I've asked them what part of your job duties is between the line when the game starts.
Okay.
And the number I always get back is about 20%.
Okay.
So this book's going to be about the other 80%, what everybody doesn't see.
Okay.
You know, everything that doesn't go on the field.
Okay. What's the title?
Right now, I'm working with the game within the game.
Okay, I like it. It's good. Now you've obviously had a very long career in, a lot of your films and TV shows are sports related. Where did this fascination come from? This fascination with sports?
Well, my dad was an athlete, and I always enjoyed watching sports, especially professional sports, because to me it's the great conundrum with professional sports. Because on one hand, you have professional,
mm-hmm.
which is about the bottom line. It's about business. It's about capitalism.
Okay.
On the other hand, you have sport, which in
mm-hmm.
theory is about pure competition.
Mm-hmm.
The athletic event, the teamwork. So I've always found those two to be really interesting because the confluence of that is very interesting.
Okay.
I enjoyed, especially baseball. I'm more of a baseball fan than anything else.
Yeah. Were you an athlete growing up, or do you still play?
More intramurals. I wasn't on any varsity teams or anything like that. I mean, I played golf. I played a lot of softball. I actually got more into organized sports when I was in college. I worked for the athletic department for a brief time at the University of Houston. My dorm had a great intramural sports teams. We were very much into sports. I used to sell beer in the Astrodome. So I got into it more then, and then so I got into it more as time going on, as more as adult.
And so that led to movie role like the Ty Cobb film.
Actually, that had very little to do with it.
Okay.
Ron Shelton and I both read the same article, the great Al Stump piece about Ty Cobb, and we both loved it. And Ron always thought it was a movie, and I said, "Oh, great!" So I was going to play Al Stump. So yeah, because of the love of baseball, yes. Because we both knew the piece.
Okay.
It's not because of I was an athlete or anything. No.
You've obviously had a very long career, a great career. What are some of your highlights? What are some of your favorite moments in films?
Every one of them. Working. I mean, each one is a different experience. I mean, it's all about life experience. It's about enjoying. I've enjoyed just about everything I've worked on. They're all very special to me. Each one is very individual and very special.
Right. And I think, for me personally, because I grew up on Tim Burton's Batman. What was it like working on that film?
It was great. It was outstanding. I mean, I was living in London for 4 months. It was during Christmas season. London and Christmas was very cool. Going to Pinewood Studios and seeing Gotham City was just awe-inspiring. Tim Burton was a visionary genius. I got to work with Michael Keaton and Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
I mean, it was a great experience.
What was the auditioning process like for that?
I auditioned Marion Dougherty.
I
was the head of casting for Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Marion Dougherty, who started the casting director, pretty much started the whole profession of casting director. There's a great documentary on HBO called Casting By, and much of it is about Marion. Anyway, Marion liked my work. She took a liking to me. And so I read for a couple of projects for her, and then she brought me into, I read the audition for her for Alexander Knox. She brought me in to meet and read for Tim Burton. And then I brought Tim to an early screening of Bull Durham, which had not been out yet, and he saw that, and then he told me I had the part. So that's what it was. It's great.
Great, yeah. That's a pretty easy victory for you. That's very awesome.
Well, there's a lot of them you don't get.
True. So I'm curious. You've done film, you've done TV. Do you prefer one over the other?
Well, it depends on when you're in something like movies are big, so movies are big, and it's the positives are the bigness of it. There's a lot to like. I mean, do I prefer one or the other? It depends. What role am I playing? Am I playing actor? Am I playing director? Am I playing, it was hard to not enjoy every step of doing the HBO series, Arliss.
Right.
But I love doing Batman. I love doing Bull Durham. Good Morning Vietnam. I've been very fortunate. I had a blast.
Now, Arliss, fantastic show. How did the idea come about originally?
I was approached by Mike Tolan and David Picker, who just recently passed away a couple of weeks ago, I think. They approached HBO about doing a as they described it, the spinal tap of sports. It would go from one event to the next, Wimbledon or the Super Bowl, and do the spinal tap of each. HBO, I had a relationship with. They also knew I was a sports fan, and they suggested that they talk to me about getting involved as a writer. And they pitched the idea to me, and I percolated over it. And then I thought, I told them, I've seen this. I saw it on the Muppet Show. I've seen this. But what I'd like to do is write a mini-series as a satire on the world of sports as told through a self-aggrandizing sports agent. The sports agent was not something at that time that really was much in the public eye. There had been a situation with a guy named Mike Trope. There had been a situation with a Yankees signing ball player named Brian Taylor. But nobody knew much about sports agents. So Michael Tolan and I were simpatico on this, and so it was supposed to be a 6-episode miniseries. And I pitched that, and they went ahead and said yes, and they also wanted me to be the star of it. So, and then we wrote about 6 scripts, and it went nowhere for about 2 years. And then finally there was a change of leadership at HBO, and the new head of programming, Chris Albrecht, I had known for many years, he gave the green light. Okay.
Wow. And the rest is history. That's great. Now, did you select Sandra Oh and the other cast members, or did that?
Yes. Yes.
You did?
Yes.
What did you see in Sandra?
Somebody good, willing to take chances. I did not know quite what to expect. Well, here's a couple of things. First off, I was committed to having an ethnically diverse cast.
Okay.
I was, because I felt I'm dealing in a world of sports and athletes, and I think I wanted to do that as much as I can. That did not go into the final decision of her. The other girl, it was down to 2 girls. It was Sandra Oh and another great actress, Lauren Graham.
Oh, she's great.
Went to fame in the Gilmore Girls. In fact, she probably probably took the right job. But I would have been fine either way. But I just felt that Sandra was slightly, and I'm just saying slightly, the more unconventional choice. And so I went with her.
Oh.
That's it.
Yeah, and it worked.
Yeah.
So, are we going to see a reunion coming up, Arliss reunion soon, or?
I have no idea.
Would you want to? Is that something you'd want to do?
Yeah, I would do. I would do it for sure. I mean, it's about HBO. It's not about me.
Okay. Now, switching gears a little bit, I know you were in Good Morning Vietnam with the great Robin Williams. What was it like working on that film?
Great. Barry Levinson, great. I had known Robin for many years. Robin and I were in the clubs together, stand-up.
Oh, nice.
So Robin was a friend, so that was wonderful. Barry Levinson was a godsend. I had auditioned for Barry for about 3 projects, Diner and a couple of other stuff. And finally, when it came time for this, he cast me, and it was 6 weeks in Thailand with Bruno Kirby and Robin, and just a wonderful, wonderful group of people on a wonderful project, and I had a blast. Just a great blast.
Yeah, it seems like it was a fun set to be on.
Yeah, it was hot. It was hot.
Yeah, that too. All right. So, I mean, so you're working on your book now. Any film or TV projects?
Well, yeah, but they always take 100 years to do. When they come out, when they're closer, when they're done, is when you start talking about them.
Right. Well, Robert, I'm just curious. Are there any filmmakers or actors that you haven't worked with that you'd want to in the near future?
About 1,000 of them.
Yeah. Who's at the top of the list?
I'd love to work with Michael Keaton again. I'd love to work with Matt Jack again. I'd love to work with. I mean, there's a lot of great filmmakers. I mean, anybody give me a job. Alexander Payne. I'd enjoy. I love Tarantino. A lot of them. There's a lot of great directors out there.
Yeah. Well, I've been following your career for decades now, and you're just so good, so funny, and so serious at the same time. It's just like a great hybrid and a great balance that you've achieved over the years, and I want to thank you for that.
Oh, it's very kind of you to say.
Yeah. So I should just let you know, our studio is located in Massapequa, Long Island.
Uh-huh.
So if you're ever in the area, if you want to, or I can meet you in the city sometime, we'd love to do maybe another interview down the road.
That would be fine.
That'd be great. All right. Well, Robert, I want to thank you, and good luck on the book, and hope to talk to you again soon.
You too. Best of luck with your show.
Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.